have job platforms where we have some people that even subscribe to that job platform like Black Skills. They connect people together with international placement, and quite a number of people have gotten jobs from that platform. And we also do testing merchandise. Some people can attest to the fact that occasionally we usually call on people who are interested to test application, and they are given a particular amount for that purpose. So moving on, it is time for us to celebrate our new members. We know that you are not just enjoying this Testers Quarter community on your own. We know that you are sharing the links to your people, to your friends, and they are joining the community. We get notifications weekly, daily, how people are joining our community, and we want to know if there's anybody that is just joining and this is your first time attending one of our webinars. We just want to give you a shout out. We're glad that you're here. And is anybody there so that we would roll the drum for you? Do we have anybody that's just joining us for the first time? Can you drop your favorite emoji? Do we have anybody? Okay, maybe they have not joined. All right. So moving on. Okay, Nicholas of Olabi, are you saying you just joined? Please unmute yourself and let us know. Did you just join? Vincent, unmute your mic.
Yeah,
What?
good evening. This is my first
Wow.
time joining you guys.
Oh, good evening. We are so glad to have you. Please help me to clap for them. Help me to roll the drum for them. Oh, are you not happy? Yes, Knockout. I see Knockout, Lawrence, everybody clapping. Thank you very much. We are giving you a warm welcome. This is a very good place. You will love it here. It's a community. We do everything together. We eat our food together. Although Ola, you did not give us anything tonight. So thank you, everybody. So I'm moving on. Thank you, and we are glad to have you here. Please, the job platform, try to join some of those channels. The job platform is channel 5, and where we post our job, there are other channels there. Do well to join them. I'm going to drop a link to a welcome link for you so that you will be able to intimate yourself with other channels uh, that we have on the community. Thank you very much. So if you have not joined the Slack community, the link, I'll be dropping the link now on this call, because I'm not sure everybody is on the Slack community, but we have a Slack community, and you just join that so that you'll be able to get the best. Dirty tonight, as we are going to be discussing the subject of advanced API testing techniques, scripting and validation. So a lot of people are into manual testing, they are QA engineer, but they don't have probably knowledge of API testing, or you might have some experience with API testing, but you want to know more and you're here, you are at the right place, because we have a very special person, Oji Aso, who is a QA test engineer, and he's going to be taking us on that subject. So let me read a brief bio of Oji. I see some people giving Oji some homeworks there. Oji is a skilled QA test engineer. Is passionate about helping tech companies ship high quality products with 0% critical bugs, with a philosophy of build it, break it, and rebuild it better. He ensures issues are caught during development, not after deployment. For OG, prevention beats detection. Testing isn't just a separate tool, it belongs in the code base. Instead of simply finding bugs, It focuses on preventing them from happening in the first place. As he puts it, testing proves a product can work, but not that it will work in all situations. Can you help me to give it up for Giasto, please? Oji, you have the floor. We are so glad to have you. Welcome. Where are your emojis now? Oji, you have the floor now. Do we have Oji on this call? Or this Oji? Is Oji on the call?
All these on the call. I'm having fun.
He's so humble. He's so humble. Please, you're welcome.
Hello. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I can see my guys here, so I don't know what to speak again. So,
Good. You're
good evening.
giving moral support.
Yeah. I can see Kenny. I can see Adina. I can see Gideon. I can see wonderful people. Local, Olaoye, yeah, Lawrence, Grace. I can't mention them at the good well for you. Yeah, good evening, everybody. My name is Oji, like Faith rightly said, and I'll be taking notes through this very short session. Please confirm that you can hear me and you can see my screen. Please confirm.
We can hear you, but we are not okay. We are seeing your screen now. Just now. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So good evening, everybody. So, first of all, okay, we'll be taking a look at advanced API testing techniques, then including scripting and validation, right? And we hope that will be 100% practical. Let me just do a shout out to Kenny. I think Kenny will be happy. I thought Kenny there. Shout out to Kenny. He's my other also. In case I'm wrong, he's there to correct me. So let me, yeah. So stuff that will be covering. These are the things we'll be covering, right? I try to look at some of the stuff on the chart for our expectations, guys. And of course, I can't cover everything 100% in this one class, but as much as possible, I hope to touch as many of them as we can. Now, I hope you have your laptop actually because I'm not going to be saying much. We'll just be doing it, right? So I hope you have your laptop with you. Yeah. So before I start, so we'll be looking at the first one is parameterized test that's using dynamic data in testing. And someone mentioned case study, right? So this particular one, the case study is mostly for let's say for social apps, right? For social apps, even for e-commerce or apps that require you to generate so many data, even for AI products, right? Where you need to use dynamic data in real time, right? So this is the use case for it. We'll look at that. Then second one is how to do chain request, right? So if you have API workflows that you want to do, maybe one call depend on another call, right? And so on like that. So this particular one we have this, and the case study for this is for e-commerce. So before I can check out on an e-commerce website or web app, I'll check out to add to cart, the product to cart. Then after that, I'll take a particular product, then go to the checkout page, then make a payment, then check out successfully, and that product enters my order. So the only way the e-commerce site is able to track that product is the ID. So for each of those requests, I am passing the ID, and it's going to be ID coming to be copying the ID from one request to another. So we look at how to do chain requests. Then the second one, the third thing is we look at how to do API test automation, right? Yeah, this too will be interesting, right? Well, yeah, we look at it. You see that we can actually do API test automation We need the short term that we have. And we even Postman actually for all this. The second one will be using how to generate data, test data dynamically. So this one is probably you are testing a social media app, so you just are testing a site that requires you to generate so many test data, and you can't be racking your brain. Right? So we look at how to do that. Yeah, and we also do performance testing, right? Ensuring that okay, we are having Black Friday or our product is on big board. I know that in those two scenarios, you normally record high volume people using your app so well, people downloading, people signing up and all that. To ensuring that your app does not crash, the API is able to carry it. Then we'll be looking at how to run your test in CI/CD, right? So you can consider it to run at every code request, every push request, or every pull request. So this will basically ensure it makes your regression actually faster, right? So if you want to release a product and they made a new feature, they they put a new feature and they want to release it, and you are testing from the API side of it, just to ensure that nothing is breaking. You can easily run your CI/CD without having to test it for the endpoint one after the other. We'll look at it this night as well. Then if time permits, we'll look at authentication and security testing just a little bit. And we'll most likely be looking at how to connect Postman to Bob Suite. You know, you use Bob Suite for security, Bob Suite and OWASP. Yeah, so we have like 7 things we want to look at. And if that, so that's why I say that I'll be as fast as possible. So you have to, if I'm too fast, just pause me. If I'm too slow, just tell me to speed up. Right. So I'm assuming that everybody here is familiar with API. So I'm not going to go into what is API, what does it do, why is it important. No, I'm just going straight into the question. So give me a thumbs up please if you can see hear me. I'm not talking to myself. So now I'm not talking to myself. So, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. So um let me just give me 1 minute, please. Yeah. Can you see my screen now? Yeah, nice.
Yes.
So yeah, so I'll be going in this order. Okay. Let me go in this order. I can flip it a bit, yeah, but let me just do this order. And I'm using Postman, so I think that everybody here knows Postman. And yeah, so I think that everybody here knows Postman. So the first thing I want us to look at is there anybody that's looking at? Hey, oh yeah. Okay, please. If there's any question, just quickly ask now because more once I start, I'll answer questions to the end of the class. So if there's any question on what I've said so far, you can go ahead and ask.
Oji, please, I want to beg. My own is maybe you should assume that not everybody knows about Postman and what is used for. You can just start from the basics. Just my own opinion.
Ah,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
sorry.
I'm not sure if I follow. Huh?
Audrey, don't worry. Answer that. We won't be able to do that because this session topic is an advanced course, right? However, if you don't have an idea about API before now, you can visit our YouTube page. We have a comprehensive hours of course on API already from the very beginning. So that can be something you watch after we are done with this session. But Audrey will be doing an advanced version of that so that we don't draw others back. Thank you.
Thanks for saving me. I was about saying that I was going to go back to you. So please, like, he rightly said is I'm not going to go back to the basics, right? But of course, you can catch up on the basics later. So, I'm still zero. Of course, zero. So let's continue, please. So, two assumptions, right? Everybody here knows Postman, and everybody here have tested API before. Two assumptions, right? So without understanding two assumptions. So I have some APIs here. They are demo API, right, for testing purpose. So you can see we are doing chain request. Then the second one is the data driven test. You see them in my collection. So I have this collection, advanced API. Same thing we are doing inside here. Right, you do chain request, data driven test, test case, test data, performance test, and everything. All in Postman. Right? So the first one is chain request, and I will use this as well. Now I'll use this as well to talk about the API call configuration right here as we go on. So this is my API. So you can see I have a base URL here. So a base URL is basically something www something slash something. So which I have here. So instead of creating the API like this, let me show you something. So instead of putting the API like this, I can decide to also put the API like this. Right, and it still work, right? It will still work, but it's not looking cool, right? So that's why I have to put this guy in a variable. Why? You will see why later. But if I call this one, so you can see that it works, right? Now I can come here, you can see that I'm using the same variable, base URL, so I don't have to be using that same this thing every time. So I have it here. Now, where is this guy created? I find the course, I'm just giving up like a background of what we need. Is anybody have any question? Okay, I'll send the collection, please. I'll send the collection. Yeah, I'll send the collection to the chat. So this is the base URL, and in the base URL, there's something they call environment in Postman. The environment. So if you click on see to my left, you can see. So here you see environment. So you can create new environment, right, and give it any name, right? Any name at all that you want to give it. But I already have an environment which I call advanced APM. And inside this environment, you can see that I already have so many variables. And one of them is the base URL. Right, so which is this one? So I can use it anyway. So ignore this user ID, email, password, endpoint for now. We will get there. Right. So let's go on. So now I want to do a chain request for this user, right? Now assuming this is a product, right? The best scenario for this is an e-commerce, but I'm using like a user for this. So in this user, I have in this endpoint, you can see that it's paginated because you can see page 2. So you can do page 3 as well and everything, but this page 2. Now in this page 2, if I call this endpoint, now this endpoint returns so many users, you can see it returns their ID, their email, their first name, and everything. So it gives me everything. Right? And the second one is to get a single user. Right, so there's only point to get all users. Second one to get single users, right? Now, this is the end to get all users. In the second user, remember that most times you have the user ID slash, let's say 8. I want to get this 8. I can put it here and it will give me ID 8. If I want to call 9, I can put it here and it will give me 9. Right? But if I want to, let's say I want to chain these two together. Now, this is a very, very simple use case, right? So it might not appear, it might appear as if it's burdensome, but it's actually used when you have so much collection, like so many endpoints, that requires you to pass a user ID or something. Now, instead of putting just 8 or 9 or 7, right? I can just take a new variable and I'll call it user ID. Why? Because this particular place is where I put my parameter, and my parameter is the user ID. Right? So I will create this variable here, right? Then after creating a variable, hello, can anyone see my screen?
No, your screen. You can't see your screen.
Okay, sorry. Let me share. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Exactly. So this is what I want to create. Assuming this variable was not there before. You can see that if I'm taking a new variable, it will show like this, like a red something. Why? Because there's no value there. This one has value. That's why it's showing blue. But without value, it shows blue. Now, how can I pass? Now, the question is, how can I pass the user ID from this particular request and pass it into this particular one, such that I don't have to be coming here and be typing 7 or 8 and coding the user ID. How can I do that? That's where the change request coming. And in Postman, you have, in Postman, you have a place to put your parameter. You have odds. For example, if your API is authenticated, most APIs are in the real world, right? You have all these ones where you put that there token or JCOB, so depending on everything. And then you have headers, you have body. Then there's something else we have, which is script, right? So you have to use this script to tie the two. And how do I do that? In Postman, we have a pre-script and a post-script. Now, this pre-script does what? So this pre-script, suppose you want to do some configuration before running your API. For example, you want to set some cookies, you want to check for some stuff, if you want to configure some environment, you can do all these things with it. So all these ones will run before your API returns the response. Now this post response will run. So this one will run after your API is done running. Right. So now because I want to pass user ID here, what will I do? Now in Postman, everything here is called response. Like we all know, this one here is called like all this body and everything, and this endpoint and pathway. They are basically the request I'm sending, and everything that is coming out is the response, right? And it's coming out as data, which is JavaScript object notation. And now, what do I do? The first thing I have to do is to create a variable. Then after I create the variable, I will now pass anything I want inside that variable. All stay with me and see how we do this. So I come to my script, right? Then in my script, the first thing I have to do is I'll do let. So you have to do a bit of coding as well, but not coding the way you code maybe Playwright or Cypress, but just a little bit, right? So you create a variable, you can just change the variable is JSON data. I can call it a- anything, but it just makes sense because it's JSON, right? Now, what is this JSON data? Now, this JSON data is everything that is being returned here. So everything here is JSON, like you know, you can see here is JSON. Now, what is JSON data? This is, a postman, that's PM, right? So you do to get the response from postman, what do? You type the keyword postman. So postman has his own keyword, which is PM. So anytime you are called, you say PM, you are basically referring to the postman. So postman, that's a variable postman. Or let me call it an object postman. It has so many things inside that you can do with it. So I do PM dots. Now, if I put dots, you see so many things there. You have the environment, you have cookies, you have requests and everything. But I am interested in the response, right? This is the response. So response, right? So dots, you know, this response can be anything, but I want it in JSON. So I put the JSON. Right? And because it is a method, I put my bracket. Right? Just a little. Now I've been able to. So what is this guy saying? This guy is saying that take everything in my response, take all these JSON response here and store them in this variable called JSON data. Uh, how is this? Because if you are just to simplify again, I have to make sure I'm not talking about myself, please. Please, you can simplify. If you are with me to be fine, I'm
Yes,
not
we
able.
are for
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I was here. Hey, nobody can look at me. Yeah, who is calling this one? Ah, no, sorry. This is not my. Okay, yeah, they look like this is my screen. Why this is not it also? Oh, I don't know why they clear, but let me just
I also
allow
wanted to
them again.
mention, Audrey, I think we should just continue and know that people are here so that you don't get distracted.
Oh, okay. So there's this thing. So I have this. Then after this, I've gotten all the response, but you know that I don't need all the response, right? Now I need the user ID, and the user ID. After I get the user ID, I want to store them in my environment because, like I said, you have to know environment. So it is after I store them in my environment that I can now call them here. So this actually will take it from the environment. So how do I put it in my environment? I've created the variable, which is this. Then the second thing to do is to set the environment. And set the environment, you do PM. If I tell you about PM, this person. So PM dot environment, right? Then dot set. So I'm this is basically to set the variable. Right now, what do I want to set? I want to set user ID. So I want to set user ID. Now I can give it any name, but I'm using user ID. Why? Because user ID is the variable here. Right. So anything I for it to work, anything that is here, you have to pass that into here. Right. So I put a user ID. Then which of the response do I want? So I want to pick this ID here. So this 7, I can pick this 7 here. I can pick this 8 here. I can pick this 9 here. I'm telling the ID. Right. So how do I do that? I just do JSON data because I already called JSON here. So this basically is calling the response. So JSON data dot what? Now in my response, I have page, I have per page, I have filter, I have filter pages, and I have data. Now this ID is inside data, right? And data is an array. So you have to take note here. Data is that why it's good to know a bit of data structure as a keyword. So data is an array. So I put data, this is the data, right? Then after that, because it's an array, then I have to reference. So this is the first object of the array. This is the second object. So I want to see the first, no, let me put the second object, which is 8. So if I want to the second object, I'll just do, so in an array, if you put 1 means second, 0 means the first. So I will start from the first actually. So let me put second object. So this data, this particular guy now is calling everything that is there. The ID, the email, the first name, last name, avatar. Now, but I'm interested in only the ID. If I put dot ID, now this ID will call only the 8 that is there. And let's see this in action. Now remember that this guy, it was initially red, nothing there. But if we call this guy, you see that you will see that there's not a value there. Let me show you how it works. If I click on this place and I click on variable, now you can see that see my right, you see our environment, you can see that user ID is empty, right? So if I send this request here, okay, CPT it as CPT it as none. Okay, so if I pick the image 200, let me come here first. So yeah, this is it. So it's picking none. So there's been the so I must have reference. Oh, I didn't put data. Sorry. So I have to put JSON data dot data. And I'm picking the self element. So that's why it's not. If I send it again, and now it's now 8, right? So it is now 8. It means that I'm sending correctly. And to see that it's working, if I change this one to 0, it should pick 7. Pick 7. Now, to make it interesting, to be sure, I want to pick this mic here. I have been I'm passing with email. Let's pass this email there. Instead of ID, let me pass email, right? If I pass email here, right? And you send it, you see that the image is passed, right? So this basically captures what you want it to capture, right? So once it captures it, okay, let's say it's 7, then I cannot come here, right? So now it's now green, it's now blue, picking up 7. So if I run this guy runs. So I don't have to be changing this one every time. Now this basically helps you if you are doing a checkout process. I couldn't find like a perfectly commerce site, e-commerce API. I would have just shown you the whole flow. So let's assume this is the checkout process. No, add to cart, sorry. So if I click this add to cart, I will create my script there to pick the product ID and store it in a variable. Then inside this place, I will have a checkout and I'll pass this product ID there. Then I'll call it again. Then do you understand that as I go and I click an order and I do that. So this is basically how to change different requests in Postman. So that is number one. Any question before I proceed to the other one? I can't see the chat, so my probably any question?
This is a
Okay.
silent room. Faith, where are you? I don't think there's any
I'm
question.
right here. I'm right here. I don't
Yeah,
think there are any questions.
Okay. If there are no questions, then let's proceed to the second one.
Audrey, please hold on a second. Someone asked earlier, I'm not sure you saw it. Sir, how do we get the collection to practice? Okay, you dropped that. And
Yeah.
you can zoom your screen a little bit
Hey,
so that they can see those things you're sharing. Yes.
I mean, if the one that is bigger, uh,
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more. It's better now.
it's better, right?
Yes.
Now let's move to the second one. Right. So the second one is test automation. Right. So okay, I can see it. Now this is the API I've been using. Right. So I'll just use this to do the test automation. Let me just do this one. So we want to basically automate our API, right? We've had so many collections. We've uh we've uh we've done chain requests. Right now, if we are automating, it's good you use variable first of all, because you can't be hard coding most of the data. For example, user ID, product ID, if it's a fintech, transaction ID, you can't really be hard coding those. If not, it will break your test. Now, assuming you can see that here as well. Okay, I've not gotten there. Yeah. So here as well, I put a variable there because this one can change. Now to automate this guy, obviously it's not too big. Sorry, it could be for me. I'm not used to it. Let me use a use to see if this will work. Is it better? Can I work with this one? Okay. So
Yes.
I have this guy and I have a script there. Now I have tested my API, right? I now want to automate it basically to check and the automation. Yeah, one of the things you are also checking for is the schema validation. Right? You want to ensure that in your test case, you want to ensure that the response are the expected response, right? So the first thing you want to also check that you are getting a 200 for a get request or 201 for a post request. So the first thing you want to do, we'll check that the response code is 200. The second thing we want to do, we'll check that the API is fast. So let's say we want to check if the API returns within 200 milliseconds. Returns within 200 milliseconds, right? And we can also like do some schema check as well. So let's proceed. So I'm testing now, right? basically trying to take a script. So I'll just do PM.test. So this PM.test is you are basically testing. And I also show us how to use AI to do this. There's an AI tool in Postman called Postbot. So we'll look at that too. It makes your work actually faster. So you do PM test. So now, I want to check that response is 200. So let me just put the title. Response is 200. You can click on anything, right? And this basically, not tell and this basically is like a function, right? So a Postman the same way. Now you can see that the AI is even bringing everything here for me. Function, response, but let me just type it because I think that the more you type, the more you speak. And so you have this there. So you have this a function, then you want the function, you have curly bracket, then you do PM the response. It's simple code, right? So it's not as heavy as playwright or Cypress or all this. Now I'm doing, remember, to test, I'm doing PM.test. Or to get response, I'm doing PM.response. Now I now want to attach, for your normal automation, all those tools that we use, you do attachments, right? In Postman, too, you have to attach, right? So I now want to attach in Postman. I'll do PM. Now I want the response 200. That's why I started with Postman. You have to use to have. I think playwright have something like to have to authenticate. That person they have to have to be all those things. So in Postman, you can see the response to have. So you can attach the body, you can start the status, you can start everything now, but here we are starting the status. So I want the status to be what? To be 200, right? No, now, this is my attachment, right? Now, if I run this guy, hey, let me zoom out, sorry, so that I can see if I zoom out, there's something I have to show, and I'm not able to show. Let me reset this. Please, pardon me, I'm not able to zoom into my ball. I don't know if this is manageable. So I want to start that the response is 200, right? Now, I've already created this attachment, right? Let me just try and switch. Now, if I run this code, let me remove this. Now, I'll raise this up. Now, if I run this code, stay with me. If I run this code, consider as normally I'm getting a 200 here. Now, in my test result, is now passing. It has still passed. Now, if I want this guy to fail, let me affirm that I'm getting a 404, which of course is not 404, right? So this will fail. So you can see that, although, yeah, so you can see that in my board I'm getting a response, but the test is failing. You can see attachment error. Expected response to have pickup code 404, but got 200. Now, if you are familiar with Selenium, Playwright, FS, you'll be familiar with this attachment error. You follow with this one, expect this to be this, but got it. Right, so these are for the attachment. Let me put it back to 200. Now, I also want to attach that the API is relatively fast. And of course, there are different metrics for fast. Let me just say mine is 200 milliseconds. So I want to test the speed of this API. Right, so PM.test. So I want to do response is within time frame. Time frame, of course, is different for everybody. So I can now remember after I do this, you put a comma. In fact, AI is even bringing it for me, but let me just for the culture, let me just type this there. I'm typing it out because in case you are trying to do that, that's why you type it out the first time. I mean, the second time you cannot be copying and pasting. I think it's faster that way. Right now, what should I? How do I attack this? How do I attack this? Remember, I'm attacking. Now, if you want to attack the speed, you can do PM. Now, remember, Postman has so many things. Now, I want to expect something. Now, I want to expect that the response, response is PM of response. I want to attack that this response dot response time. There's something called response time. So this will check. This will do the math for you. So I want to attack that this response time is below. So it's below, let's say 200 or 300. Let me just say, yeah, it's below. Let me say 200. So this is 200 milliseconds. So if I take this, You remember now, I have two tests, Abby. Initially it was one, so I'm having one of one here. Now if I send this will be given two, you can see two. Now I'm not really concerned about this response again. Now I'm basically trying to take script to in that word. Let me use the word automated, right? You will see why I call it automation, even though some people don't really like Postmark automation, but you can call it that. Now I have two test scripts. First one is, of course, the code is passing, right? And the response time is within time frame. Like, no, it's not within time frame. So the thing that this API is not up to, like, it's not too fast in 200 seconds. Although it's fast, but it's below, it's not getting the response below within this 200 seconds. If I put 300 seconds, man, 300 milliseconds, so it's not getting it. So let me just say 3 seconds. So this 3 seconds, now you can see that this API is getting it. But let me just leave it at that. Now you can do so many assertions. You can also do schema validation. So schema validation is basically you validating the content of the API. Right? So you are expecting where is this response. Now, for example, now this my data is an object, right? And all these guys here are objects. But my ID is a number. My email is the email is string. This one is a string. This is a number. So you can also assert the for 30 minutes. I don't really have time. But you can also assert the schema. Now let's now use AI to do that. I've written these two things. I want AI to help me do some assertions as well. If you click down, you see a post bot. So this post bot, you click on post bot basically asks you, what do I need to do for you? Now I want to assert, let me say, now you can see test for response, visualize this, fix test, add more text. Okay, let me say I want to add more text. Then it comes here. Remember, I have two tests before. So it's working on it. Now you can see that it has brought out so many tests for me as well. Exactly, this is what I'm talking about. So initially I have two, but now I have like 7 or so. Right. So this is what I'm talking about. So this one is you are basically validating the schema. So you are saying that okay, I want this response, I want this API to be like this. It should have page, which is this. It should have total, which is this. It should have data, which is this. Right now, all these ones. Then if you come down, this is here. So this particular one is where you are validating the data type. For example, if it's a fast-paced environment, you can see that they want the ID will now become a string instead of like a number. Let's say they make a change within the string and make the ID a string of a number. Now, because I already have assertions in place, if I want a regression test after they push the code and I want a regression test, this guy will fail and say that no, I'm expecting an ID. I'm getting a number, I'm getting a string. What happened? Then you can check. You guys, so just make your work faster. So let me try and find this guy. So you can see that now I have 7 tests and they are all passing. You can make it fail. If I put things there, I'm expecting that this guy to fail. Now let's move forward. You can see I expected 7 to be fail. Yeah. Let's now move on to the next one. I'm really trying to be fast. Now let's now do let me do this guy. Don't worry, we'll cover it. Just stay with me. If it give us time, sir, we'll cover it. Now let's move to this parameterized testing using dynamic data in your testing. So for this particular guy, right now, this is what I call data-driven testing. Basically, I don't want you remember that I was putting all my variables in a collection, which is this environment. So I have what data in this environment. But there are some scenarios in which you have so much test data, that you can't you can't be creating variable for them. You have them in probably a dating file or in CSV or in CSV file. Now, how can I run that? How can I use those data in those external file in my Postman? Now, this is a post request. Now, of course, this is my base URL. Now, this endpoint is to create user base URL that endpoint. I'll show the endpoint. Now, in this particular API, it takes a body, and the body is email and password. I'm basically trying to register a user to my system, right? It takes these two. I remember that I've been using variable all through my display, right? Because I mean it's an advanced class. So I have this guy, and if you over on this, you can see that has no value. This endpoint has no value. This email is also empty. Password also empty, no value. This with value this base URL. Now, of course, if you run this, you can't run, right? It gives you an error. Now, how do we? Now, this particular guy, I have the data in my CSV file. So I have this data here. Now, see the data here. So if I open it, so you can see, just look up. You see endpoint, you see email. Now, so for example, I have so many email. If I have so many email, let me just open it. Please stay with me. Sorry. So I have this. For example, I have so many endpoints, and I have so many email. Like let's say I have 4g@gmail.com. I have so many I have like 10 of them or 20 of them. Remember, this is the class. I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible. Now I can have two, I can have three, I can have 100 test data here, right? It doesn't matter. Now, how do I call this data in my Postman? How do I use this thing as my test data basically? That's the question we're asking. Now, in Postman, it possible that this is the request in my Postman. Now, the first thing to do is to create a variable for them. Of course, right? Now this variable, it is always base URL slash something. It's the same way we have it here. So all these ones now are like my endpoints. So I can take the variable for them and call them endpoints, right? So that was basically what I did. If you check it, you see by my endpoints here, API class user class PO. So this is my endpoint. So instead of encoding it, I just put them as a variable here, right? And also my email, I want to pick the email from here and the password as well from here. So how do I do that? Let's go. Now, the first thing to do, this is inside the collection. So you have to run this collection. So you click on the collection, the main collection, right? You click on one collection. Remember that I'm only running trace user. So I don't need this guy, 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 I don't need this one, I don't need this one. This is one I need, trace user. So I only check it, right? Now I now come here to my right. You see, I can do performance and functional. We'll still come to performance later. Now, for this functional, I have a place to select my file. Now, you can do tracing and CSV. Right? So you can go as a practice exercise, go and do tracing. But I'm doing CSV for this class. So I click on select file. Now it asks me to put my file because I've already put it before. I will see it, but ideally you click select from computer. Then you come here and you click data, right? So it will ask you, do you want to upload it? I can say to upload the workspace to URL. So after you upload it, you will see it here. You see that you see data or the CSV. So this is my data name. Right? Then I can preview here. If you see that same thing, you can see this is my endpoint, this is my division. Now ensure that the variable name you have in your Postman is the same thing I have here. You can see that endpoint is what I have in my Postman variable. Email, they are the same thing, right? And it's case sensitive, so they have to be exactly the same thing for it to work. And you click on continue, the file is selected. Now, if you want this guy is successful. How do I know it's successful? You can see a green here. Right now, if you see a green here, then you cannot click on console. If you come down, you see a console here. And you click this console here, you will see this endpoint that I ran. So you can see when computer endpoint, if you remember, that's the endpoint. Something that's key. Okay, let me just clear it to start from the beginning so that you won't be confused. Right, so this is my advanced API. I click on one collection I disable. Oh, sorry, create user is enabled. So I click on create user and I select the file. So I have already let me just click on. I give me a preview. I click on continue. Now if I run because the game is advanced API, so that's why it's running advanced API. So I click on advanced API, you can see that the API is running here. And I'm getting a 200. It means successful. How do I know? I'm getting a 201, and of course I can come down. I can check the response body. So you can see that it has been created. Exactly that same email that I use, that same password that I use, created that I use. Now you can try this and run it without Postman, yeah, without variable. So you can, because of time, you can just remove this one and add code to the email. So let me just quickly do. So you can add code the email. So if I add code the email, you see that you basically get the same response, right? So if you add code the email, the password is this thing, right? Password is this thing, and the endpoint is this guy. So this is the endpoint. So now if you want it, let me clear this guy down. Now if you want this, you should basically get it as a body. You can see that same thing I got initially. So you can play around it. I'll send the collection, right? So this is basically how to uh get your data dynamically from an external file in Postman. Now let's move forward. Let me quickly do this, then I'll move to without I people to do. So pardon. Now, Faith, can I proceed ready to minutes?
I didn't get that.
Can I proceed?
Yes, please. We are rounding up, sharp, but you
I
have
see
to
when I
finish what you're
see. I
teaching
hope, yeah,
us.
okay. Yeah, let me complete. Please, you can just give me like extra 2 minutes. Yes, extra 10 minutes. I'll wrap up. Now I'm done with this guy. Now let's now proceed to test data. Now this one is very it's straightforward. Now if you are running, let's say a postman. Now postman gives you if you use playwright or cypress before, you see that one of the issues you have is how to generate test data. Even I generally say generate test data, but in postman makes it very easy to generate test data. Now this is postman. Now, right, then I have all these guys. Now I have first name. Now I can now this first name I've not uploaded to. This is that Postman gives you all these things by itself. You type first name and you send it, it generates random names for you. I think I have the behavior or something. Let me check for this behavior. Please. Behavior post maybe I think I have the yeah, I don't know where this thing wants to. Oh, I've forgotten what it gives you and that problem. Let me check. I think the behavior is on. I thought it's fine. Uh, where is the behavior? There's a base. Oh, okay. I can't trust. Okay. Let me try and do it here. Let me just copy it. Let me copy. I can't find the behavior. I will have saved it. Now let me copy it and put it here. I don't know where it is. Let me put it in this one. Yeah. Now, can this thing not do that? Let me try this one. Uh, so I can put this an email. Assuming I can pass, you can see if you are typing random, it's giving so many things I can tell it I can use. So I run random city, random color, random display, random country. So you click on this, but I want random email. Right? So if I click on random email, now if I see that if I send this guy, you can see that it gives me a random email. If I send it again, it gives me a random name. So I can use that as my test data for anything I want to do. And for each click, it sends me a random email. I think I even have a random password. Let me see. Uh, Let me check for random password. So it saves you time. Okay, yeah, the random password nice. So you can see generating random passwords for me. You can do country, you can do look at things you can do. You can generate last name, first name, date, or even address. Right? And if you are working in let's say a social app space where you have to create a blog or you are working in a book or something like that, you have to create a summary sentence and Lauren Ibsen, all of them are familiar with Lauren Ibsen, right? So you can use people to generate all that for you and it will give you all that, right? So that was
OJ, are you still there? Um, OJ, good evening, everybody, and thank you very much for attending this webinar. I believe OJ is still going to join us soon. Probably has some network issues, but he's been able to take us through some advanced techniques on the API testing. Kindly use the chat box if you have any question you would want to ask for further clarifications. We are also this meeting is recorded and is going to be shared with us in the community. So you don't have to worry about whether you'll be able to watch it again. You'll be able to watch it because it's recorded. I'll be sharing it with us in the community. So you can use the chat box so that we can take your questions. But while we wait for OJ, I have some announcements to make, and I'll be using this opportunity to make them while we wait for OJ to return to the call. I think it's also trying to share his screen, so I'm unable to share my screen. I'm trying to share my screen so that's all right. Oh, I really want to, I think the network is very bad. I want to share my screen so that there's a live program that is coming up on Instagram Live, and which I would like us to participate is by Testify Academy. They are going to be having a live session on Instagram on the 28th of March by 4 p.m. So I was trying to share that with us, but the network is not okay. I think let me see. All right, good. I think we have it now. So this is the event that is happening on the 28th of March. That is the same day as our webinar, our town hall meeting. But this one will be happening by 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So it is by one of our mentors on Testify Academy, Eniola Ajala, and the host is Ada Obiachino,
hello.
that's our community manager. I'm with you. Who is speaking?
It's sorry, apologies. I had and it didn't happen to me,
Back.
please. Apologies.
Yes, I
Yeah,
know.
please. I was speaking.
I'm
Okay,
with you.
go ahead, please. Yeah,
Yes,
I
you.
was speaking. I didn't know where you guys
Yes. I believe you. Probably it
were.
was a network issue. I will stop presenting now so that you can continue.
Okay.
Is that okay? Okay, fine. Thank you. So,
Where did you guys meet? Okay. Thank you,
Audrey,
please. Where did you guys meet with? Like, where did? Hello?
yes, what you said? What?
Where did you guys meet with? Like
You
where
went back to your slide. It was that point that we lost you.
ah
You went back to
I'll
your
tell
slide.
somebody okay. Okay, let me just I just tell something I think I must have missed something there. Let me proceed please.
All right.
Yeah, so
Are you going to share your screen or you're rounding up?
yes, please. No, I'm sharing. We are not done yet. We are not done yet. Let me just quickly do some of the stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, please. Can you see my screen? Let me just be fast
Yes,
and
we
talk.
can see your screen.
Yeah, so I was talking about generating test data in Postman, right? So which is this? So you have a place where you basically so you have this. For example, if you are working on a site that requires to generate large number of data, right? Large data sets, and you need random email, random password, random country name, and everything. You can use this to generate it. So right, so if you why is it happening? Can you still hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well, Lada. Well,
I think the network must have been okay. I don't know why the network is but this particular guy is to generate random data. I was thinking on the because random. So random gives you anything that you need data for. So I can do random first name, last name, timestamp, country, and everything. I am working in a social media app company. You can have random lorem ipsum, right? Blog post and everything. Now, let me just move forward because of time constraint. Now, you can, if, yeah, I talked about the chain request, the data driven test script. Now, for the performance test for it, so you can't do this on the web app, like on the website. Why? On the web app, you can't do it. You can only do it on the mobile app. If I click on this, you see a place to run collection. Like now in my own collection, I want to run performance test for it. Right. And in Postman, of course, you can't go beyond 100. Yes, you have to go beyond 100. You can see, you can't simulate more than 100. So I can do 100 users and I can't go beyond an hour. So you can see, I can do 60 minutes. But for the sake of this class, if you want to do like a standard performance testing, you don't use Postman, you use Playwright, right? And you use JMeter JMeter or Load Runner or Grafana, depending on your use case. But this is just for a like, simple PR, right? So for the case of this class, I want to use 10 users and 10 and 1 minute. So if I have this, now I can now decide to run it. So if I run it, you see that it's running, right? It's giving me the error rate, it's giving me the graph, everything that your Demeter gives, right? It's also the minimum response time, everything, and it's giving me time 1 minute. It's giving me the average response time, the request per second. This is the throughput, and it's telling you how many requests that it has made, right? And the error is not just ignore the errors, right? We are using test stuff, so you can go back and run your API very well, like spotted very well. This is not a class, so that you don't have much error. But this just has to do this for a class. Most of the things are not set up, so that's why I always wanted. But this is basically how to run stable performance testing. And after it's done, it gives you all the requests. It gives you the total request, the error for each of the endpoints. So you have that. You can see that each of the endpoints run 10 times, not 10 times, 10 times, and not all of them for easy have error, right? So it gives you the response time, the minimum average response, the percentile, and everything, right? So you can try this for your proper API, right? This is the first API. That's basically how to run performance. Then the last one is, hello? Can you hear me? This hope I can hear me fine to the last
yeah,
one.
we can hear you.
Yeah, so the last one is running CICD in Postman, which is where we'll probably talk. Yeah, so if I want to put this, so the CICD is after I'm done with my test and I want to put it in the pipeline, right? So the first thing to do is to export. You click on this, you export it. Right. So if you export it, you can see it's my download folder. Now you now come to your, let's say, VS Code, anything you are using. So you can create a new folder. Uh, let me just create a new folder. I can create a new folder, right? So let me just call it demo, right? And I feed it into demo, and I open demo, right? So I have this guy. This is my new folder, right? Then let me see. Okay, I close this guy. Then I will now import my collection. I'm going to put this thing in a CI/CD environment, right? So I can now put my file here. So the file that I so let me just do a quick copy and just paste it inside. Right? So to just be faster. So I already created it now. I have it here. Then after that, what I will now do is, because I'm using GitHub, now you can also use GitLab. Because I'm using GitHub, I can the first thing you first to do is to create a workflow file. So you first do GitHub folder, create a GitHub folder. And inside this, you put a workflow file. Now this basically specify how your CI/CD will run. So a workflow folder, inside the workflow folder, you will now create a YAML file. So I can call it advanced API plus dot YAML. If I click this file, now I will now put the configurations. Now let me just copy, because of time. Let me just copy it. I also send it to the chat. So let me just copy this thing. Alright, so CI/CD, the Postman. Alright, let me. This one is schedule job. Now this is basically CI/CD with Postman. Now this guy runs on every push. You can see these are the jobs. Now, if push means that anytime there's a code is pushed to the pipeline, if you push a code to the pipeline, it will trigger this particular script. Right? It will trigger the particular script, and after triggering the script, it will run all the scripts. The same way we run it in our Postman collection. It will run everything, and it will also generate a report for you. So let me change this then. I don't have to really explain, like do an explanation, but since I'm assuming that we are at advanced people, so that's why so sorry, this advanced API. So in this name, hey, okay, guys. So I'll put the name here. Please, can you give hello, Faith? Hello?
I'm with you, Audrey.
Can you take over? I'll give you like 2 minutes, please. I want to saw something. 2 minutes, please. Yeah, 2 minutes.
Ooh. So that is Audrey there. If we leave Audrey for the rest of tonight, he's going to continue to teach us. He has a lot and is rushing it so that he can drop at least 2 or 3 techniques for us. And I know that he has talked about data generation, a bit of performance testing, and now he's also talking about how to integrate your the things, your code, your testing with GitHub, how to push it and things like that. So while Oji is trying to get back with us, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry for the little inconvenience. So I'm almost wrapping up, right? So this is, you can still see my screen, right? I see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. Let me just put it up. Now I have this guy. Now I have the now all this configuration now on GitLab. GitLab by default is runs Ubuntu for your CI/CD. So and because it is Postman, remember it's familiar with Newman. That's why it's an advanced class. So Newman is like the CLI for Postman. So everything you are running, the CI/CD actually will run in Newman, not in the GUI. That's why I commented it. So if you install Newman in the CI/CD, generate the reports, right? Then this is if you install Newman and install a reporter for Newman too. So it means that at the end of our run, we should have a report that shows us okay, this is the result of our test. And then after that, after it has done the installation, it will now run this test. Now, what is it running? It's running API test. You can give this any name. Now, the file that is being on Gongo. Now, remember, if you run Newman via CLI, you will see that a Newman, to run Newman, you use Newman one. I know. So you run Newman, and if you don't Newman, you see Newman one, then you put the name of the folder, which is advanced API, right? Advanced API called Postman connection. Advanced API dot Postman collection, right? Now it's always in JSON file. JSON, like does all these things. Then after that, let's just save it. Then let's now push this one. So, like I said, it's not like a beginner class. It's not a beginner class. So I'm assuming again that you are familiar with Git, GitHub, right? And Git. So I can just add this thing. I'm trying to choose it to my repo. Okay, let me initialize it. So I initialize it, then I do a Git add, then I do a Git commit. Let me just say demo API. Demo API, right? Now I've committed it. I want to push it. Now I come to my GitHub and create a repo. Let me call the repo advanced API. Right, let me create the repo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm leaving. Yeah, 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 I'm okay. Yeah, thank you. So, so I did this commit. So I copied all these things. Then if I commit it, you can see that it's being pushed. Right. So if I request this now, I will see that is there. Now after I put because I specify that it will run at every push. If I come to action, I'll see that my demo API is doing it. You can see that it's running. So if it's wrong, most likely it will fail because of the just demo so we not configure the plan. Like we did not say that all the tests are passing. So if you run, then it will generate a report for you. And if you click on the workflow, you see that it's running all this. If you click on it, you see all these tests. So it's installing this, it's running the test. There's an error, but most of the time we can't debug the error, right? So this is basically how to run the CI/CD. And at the end of the day, it should generate a report for you. Now, this one is failing, and you get this in your emails that something is failing. So there's no time. I've already passed the time. Let me just stop here, please. Thank you. Thank you. Maybe next time I will continue. But let me stop here. Thank you, please.
Wow, 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 wow. Audrey, thank you so much for that lovely session. It was spot on. I know a lot of people, if you know at a point in this training, you were lost, drop your favorite emoji. If you know that at a point in this training, you were just like, where am I? Do I even know API testing at all? Yes, I know some people stay true, but it is what it is. It is not bad. So
we can rewatch and have more understanding of those things that he taught us. And I believe you will be glad you did. So thank you very much, Audrey, for that session. I know you probably had a busy day and you still decided to take us on this course, and we really appreciate you for that. So I wouldn't want to take any more of your time after now. 28th of March, Instagram Live, that's Testify Academy. They will be having an Instagram Live with Eniola Ajala. Please, the theme is importance of soft skill as a software tester. As a software quality assurance engineer, you need to please kindly join that live, because it's going to be, you have for anyone that have attended our webinar where Eniola was the facilitator, you would you know you will know that Eniola is not just a regular kind of person. She would teach us very well. So the theme of the program is importance of software testing skills soft skill in software testing. So, and kindly let us make it a date there. So apart from that, that is all. We will not be taking question and answer tonight. But if you have any question and answer for Oji, you can drop it in the thread of our of this session that I'm going to be dropping on Slack, and drop your favorite moments in this testing. You can also, this webinar, you can also thank our facilitator, Oji, for that very special training session. So without further ado, we have come to the end of our weekly webinar for today. Next week is going to be our town hall meeting, and I want to see every one of us, because we are going to be contributing on how we want to move Testers Quota community forward and better. So thank you very much, and have a lovely evening. Bye.